Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial of Jav here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What you guys are going to be doing today is you're going to be joining me on a good old-fashioned, not so old-fashioned I guess, you're going to be joining me on a Hogglo hunt. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be going out killing some of these big bad mobs that you see me shooting right here. So this is sort of like mid-hunt. I've been hunting for a while at these things. I've literally, since the last video, just been going at them, and I've got about 905 kill points. I've got 1,200 that I'm going for total. So you're just joining me in the middle of this hunt. The reason I didn't really start this anywhere specific, or why I'm not doing like a 50 or 100 PED run, is because this is just the overall experience I've had hunting Hogglos that I want to cover. I just want to cover how that's gone for me and how I'm actually seeing a profit from it. I don't want to do a 50 PD run and give you guys the wrong idea, because if I come in here and start talking about a profitable Hogglo run that I've been doing over hundreds of PEDs, and then I have a 50 PED run that fails or doesn't fail, that's going to give you guys sort of a false impression of my experiences. So yeah, let's just get into it, right? So I've been hunting Hogglos for a little bit using this new Mayhem armor that I got. Thanks, Drakil, once again. He's the one who gave me that armor. But yeah, I've been hunting some Hogglos using this armor because I want to get these kill points. Once I get 1,200 kill points, I get a nice little skill boost, and that's going to help me out because more skills is always better. So with those more skills, and with iron missions coming to a close soon, I figured it was about time that I come out and grind some of these bigger mobs just to get the kills. So yeah, I've been grinding Hogglos, and overall, actually, I've seen a very good return on my loot. I think I managed to get one, I think it was like 170 PED global, and then I got two other globals that one was recorded that was about 50 something PEDs, or no, three globals. One was a 50 PED, one was like 50, I think one was like 50 straight on, and then the other one was in the 70s. And because of those globals, I've actually managed to pull a profit using this armor and the gun I'm using and hunting Hogglos. So what I've been using this LR25, I've got an A203 amplifier on it, and I've got Mayhem armor. And what I found is this is actually a fairly good sort of combo here. Obviously the Hedok SK20 is not the best healing device to use, but I just want to run through it and get the skills from it. So I haven't really counted that in the calculation, but I think overall I've come out a couple hundred PEDs ahead hunting Hogglo. Every time I go and look at my loot, it's actually jumped up in value. And if you account for decay and everything like that, I'm still actually pulling quite a profit on these guys. And I think it might be for a combination of things. I think these are sort of lesser known mobs, lesser hunted mobs. And also, if you look, one of the things they loot right here, this animal spleen oil, it actually goes for pretty decent markup, 106%. So when you include that 106% in, this is something that they loot the majority of the time, you're actually seeing a pretty nice profit on it. And some of my globals, they've been purely spleen oil. So I probably looted a couple hundred PEDs of spleen oil off these Hogglos. And because of that, even if my loot's about 5% below TT value, I can still probably make a decent profit. I've also looted an attack nano chip, which was able to net me another, I forget what I'm selling it for, but I think that netted me a couple, like over 10% return too in TT. It's markup plus 10% or 110% value. So because of those nice returns and the fact that I've got some decent armor and a good gun, even when I account for decay and sort of costs and everything like that, I'm coming out ahead. And I think this is sort of a great example of why you should always hunt markup. Because if you look, what I'm getting here, a lot of this stuff has a pretty decent markup. So I'm not TTing anything. Obviously, these things I'm just showing now have horrible markup. The paint, though, 109% on that paint. And the big one here, this is like the major thing that I loot from Hogglos, the animal spleen oil. I think that's what's really brought it home for me. And just hunting that markup has actually worked out really well for me, because when I get those globals, a lot of it is in spleen oil, and that means that I can get that extra sort of percent boost. And because those globals are what's sort of shoring up my loot, it means that even if I'm getting 95% back, I'm still doing pretty good. As you can see here, I do get a lot of shrapnel, so that's definitely counting against it. But I think just still being able to get that nice little boost in price because of the markup is helping me out tons. I think this is actually a good way to sort of show people how much that markup can matter. I know a lot of people say, like, does markup matter? What should I be hunting? Why should I be hunting it? And the thing is, it's something that's always fluid. That's something that's probably going to be changing quite a bit because it really depends on where the market is. Again, if we take something like this, right, and you look at it, you can see a decade ago was 109%, which meant Hogglos were even more valuable, even better to hunt than they are now. Look at something like soft hide, you can see a decade ago it was 104, and I remember when hide was way more than that. Now it's 101%. So obviously if you're hunting for soft hide, that's probably something that you're going to, want to hunt for less and less. And then you get things like these stink tree boards and stuff like that once upon a time had a decent markup, but nowadays don't really have too much to it. I'm not sure if that's just because nobody's been selling it or because it's just not that valuable anymore. So one of the things I do when something like this comes up is I check the auction to see if any is selling, and I check it repeatedly just to figure out if it's something that's worth posting or not. I haven't done any of that research yet, so I honestly can't tell you guys if it's worth it or not. But a few others, actually this is another good one here. These things have some pretty decent markup, 110%, but what you're going to see with these extractors is they can be a bit deceiving because honestly, I've probably looted about 10 PECs of advanced wood extractors, and even if they're paying 200% or whatever it is, or some crazy amount, they're not, it doesn't matter because you're only looting 10 PECs worth. It would have to be a huge amount of markup to do that, and it's just not, hasn't worked out for me. But yeah, overall, I think Hogglos are actually pretty awesome to hunt. And the big thing, too, is if you pick your LA right, your land area right, oh, here you can see. This is the chip I looted, the Lacerating Attack Nano chip. Pretty good item, I think. We'll see if it sells. That's the thing. I don't know if it's going to sell or not yet. Yeah, I don't have it here. But the other thing I've got going sort of in my favor is that this land area right now has 0% tax. I know, I think one person mentioned in my videos I'm a bit hypocritical because I hunt on some land areas, but then I focus on 0% tax here instead of hunting on Hogglo Ranch. So honestly, I haven't tried Hogglo Ranch, but the only land area that you guys ever really see me hunting on a lot is Nia's place, and that's because I've just had really good luck there. And I have no idea why. I have no idea why it is that when I go to Nia's place, I have good luck when I'm hunting a mubu there, but the fact that I usually do have some pretty good luck there is why I keep going there. But if you look, I really don't hunt on land areas that much. Even if you count Nia's place, that's usually just for videos and stuff like that because I can tend to go there and get a global, whereas if I hunt a Mubilax somewhere where they're not taxed, I usually don't get those globals as often. And I have no idea what it is, but that's why I prefer there. But yeah, this is 0% tax, and I think it's all sort of combined to help me out a lot. And maybe I'm just getting lucky too. That's always the thing, right? I probably run through maybe 1,000 PEDs or something like that of ammo and everything, but overall 1,000 PEDs isn't a huge sample size, so there's always a chance that I've just gotten lucky, especially when you consider the fact that I did get 170 something. I think it was 170 or maybe 107, but I got a global that was like 3 figures. So when you get something like that, that's really going to boost and sort of shore things up, so that could be part of it too. It's hard to know, but all I can say is from my experience, it's actually been a pretty decent mob to hunt. And I'm not sure, again, I have no idea why, but I'm just sort of throwing out some of my loot theories and all that. And I really do think that targeting markup rather than targeting like a specific mob and thinking that mob's going to give you a TT profit, I think that's the way to go. I think if you can target a mob that's actually going to give you a nice sort of markup percentage rather than the best TT loot possible, you can actually do a lot better. Hogglos actually do loot some pretty good items. The thing is, those items generally haven't looted in a while. So back in the day, Hogglos were known for looting some really cool, really high markup items, and that's back in the day, right? They're not quite doing it anymore. That's one of the reasons that I really did want to focus on Hogglo, just because I knew a lot of people that come out here, hunt these things, and make a killing. They get that one item that would sort of shore up the loot pool and just, or not the loot pool, but shore them up and send them on their way. And I'm hoping that somehow maybe I can loot something like that. I highly doubt it. If that was the case, I'm sure there'd be like a ton of Ubers here hunting them. In this case, it's just me, just a little serial overdrive here hunting some Hogglo youngs. But I've had decent luck with them. They give quite a bit of skill points for the kills that you get. That's because it costs more to kill them. They're a harder mob to kill, so the skill points are a little bit higher. The returns that you get as far as codex skills and iron challenge skills are a little bit higher. With this armor, that's what I'm going to try and do, because right now you can double up on sort of iron challenges and codex missions. So I want to really focus on that, and that's what I'm really aiming at right now, just getting those codex missions and getting those iron missions specifically done. So that's probably the other big reason for this video. It's sort of a warning. If you guys do have any iron missions left over from about a year ago, you need to get those things done. You need to start focusing on them, because they are going to be they're going to be disappearing soon. I'm not sure if Mindark's actually going to do like a call out and tell you when, but in the summer these things are going to be going. So if you've got some iron challenges, especially some that are very easy for you to get done, now's probably the time to do them. You're still going to get points towards your codex missions, but you can double up and get points towards your iron challenges as well. And it's a huge opportunity for people who are looking to get a few more skills or skill up a little bit faster. It's definitely done, it's been pretty good for me. It's allowed me to skill up quite a bit faster than I would otherwise. And I think I'm going to get 4 PDs worth of skills once I get this 1,200 Hogglo kill points. So that's going to be a huge boost for me. And probably after that, I'm going to head up to Club Never Die and try taking on some mobs up there. Or head up to FOMA, I guess that's what it's called now, and try taking some mobs on up there, because I know those are, usually people enjoy those sort of Club Never Die videos, because Never Die's, he's a big character in Entropia Universe, and going up there to hunt something and just showing off what that whole asteroid is, the first big thing in Entropia Universe to ever sell for $100,000 or some insane amount, right? Like, that's Club Never Die. That's what made Entropia. That's what really set the name for it. Now, Treasure Island, where I'm at right now, this was sort of the first big thing. This was like the first big ticket thing that sold. I think it sold for about 25,000 USD or something like that. And that was the first big one. But Club Never Die, that got them into the 6-figure range. That's when people were like, it's not just like a used car that you're buying with this money, it's a house. Or it's like the down payment on a house, I guess. I don't know what houses were worth back then. Real estate probably wasn't as valuable. And I don't know, when did Club Never Die? That was 2005, 2006? Something like that. But yeah, it sold for a lot, and it made some huge waves in the community. Right now, you just don't see that anymore, because the numbers aren't as insane. When you have people selling Counter-Strike skins for 32,000, oh, I'm not going to take these guys. These things are actually like super hard. I can take them in this armor, but it takes me forever. I tried killing one of them and sort of said to myself, never again. I need a better gun for that. Even for Hogglos, this is sort of a weak gun. And I was of the mindset, like, I'm never going to get this challenge done, because the gun is just not good enough to take Hogglos on. But I've actually found that my returns are really good, so I just keep doing it. I have no idea why. I really do think, honestly, like, if you run the numbers on this, I should probably be using an LR30, maybe an LR35 to hunt Hogglos. But with the LR25 and this Mayhem armor, I'm actually getting a decent return. And I am counting, like, armor decay and everything like that in, and it's still a really good return. So, if you find something that works and you don't know why it works, just keep doing it until it doesn't work. Because, take what you can while you can, I guess, is the moral of the story here. And hopefully we're going to actually be able to see me get some sort of Hogglo Hoff here, or Hogglo Global, because I'd really like to get that in for a video. And I know you guys don't like to click the thumbnails unless I can show some swirlies. And I actually do like to show them in the video, because if they're not quite in the video, that just doesn't ring as true, right? I've been called, you guys call me out for clickbaiting, man, and that's not a term I like to hear. But it is what it is. So yeah, let's try and find some more of these guys. The other nice thing too, the fact that I'm running around hunting for them, it makes it easier, because it's very rare for me to have them spawn on me or attack me. And it also, a double attack me, because that's a problem. This armor I did have. So yesterday I was out here hunting. I had 2 Hogglos attack me. It was going, I just barely pulled out. I killed the first one, healed up, killed the second one. I'm like, actually I didn't kill the second one. I killed the first one, healed up, everything was looking good, and then I got crit hit and died. So it's not the best story in the world, but it could have been. If that Hogglo hadn't gotten lucky, it would have been an awesome story where I managed to take 2 of them down when just a couple weeks ago I couldn't even do 1. But, it killed me. It is what it is. So yeah, that was that was pretty intense. And I know that's something I don't want to be experiencing too often because there's a very good chance that I'm not going to survive that. I got very lucky just being able to even come close to handling 2. So what I like is that the spawn's so open, it's so empty, I can just sort of run around, and while I'm running I heal myself, so I'm not using the healing device as much. It just gives me a lot more space to work with. Something else one of you guys asked in the comments is why I keep moving back after I shoot them. That's just, honestly, like, you move back when you shoot them just to give yourself a little bit extra space while they're coming at you, because that gives you a little bit more sort of HP that you can wear down. Once they start attacking me, I honestly don't need to be moving back anymore. It's just, I'm talking, I have my finger on the S key, and I forget to pull it up. There's no excuse for that. See, right now I remembered to pull it up. There's no big deal. It is what it is, right? Sorry about that. I need to take some water in here. I've noticed if I actually do drink some water while I'm talking, it makes my voice sound a little bit better towards the end. I don't sound so raspy. I don't really just hate the way my voice sounds, so that's always good, right? But yeah, it's been pretty cool being able to hunt these things and actually see a really good return from them. Before in the past, I could try and take them, but what it would involve is basically me shooting one, healing, and then probably dying to one at some point, and then having to run back out with my ship and take it out for the final time. So that's not very, that is not eco at all. Like, some people think this setup is bad. What I was doing before was like even worse. They actually got a lot of fruit drop in here. It's interesting. The more the more you spend, the more fruit that drops, I guess. I don't know. Fruit's a really good thing. If you're a new player, this is one of the ways you can play the game without ever having to deposit. So people ask, like, if I could do it again. Honestly, I don't have the time to do it again, like, to start from scratch and never deposit. I just deposit. It's way simpler, and it would save me so much time. It's ridiculous. Like, if you have a job, you have no reason not to... I mean, you have reason not to deposit, but if you have a job, you really shouldn't be wasting your time sweating or walking for fruit or anything like that unless you really do enjoy it. At the time, I didn't have a job, so I had more time than money, and then it makes a little bit more sense to walk around and sweat and all of that. But nowadays, that's not something I do. But yeah, if you're a new player, you can walk around and you'll find fruit laying on the ground. Actually, it's better to run. Like, just run between teleporters, keep an eye out for fruit. Fruit and stones, you can pick that stuff up, make a nice little mint on that. If you go out and sweat, that's another way to make PED, but probably you're better off just walking for fruit. When you do walk, so I say walk actually, you can run or walk nowadays. But if you do run around for fruit, the thing you're going to find is that you're not going to actually gain any skills, whereas if you're out there sweating, you're going to get some evade skills, you're going to get some mind force type skills and sweat gathering skills and all of that, which is actually going to come in handy. As you get better and better, your sweating is going to become easier and easier. Whereas with running around for fruit, that's more of a short-term gain. You're going to see more short-term profits from it. But long-term, you're just not going to have the same great experience. So I'll probably do a video on this at some point. But basically, if I go out right now and I try and sweat a mob, it's going to be way easier for me to do it than if someone went out with a new account and tried to do it. Because I can dodge more attacks, I have more HP, and just, you know, my skills are a little bit higher in sweat gathering than a new player's. If you go out for fruit gathering, your skills are not going to, you don't get skills for finding fruit. It would sort of be cool if you could, but the fact that you don't get skills for finding fruit means it's not a skill that you can get better and better at. So your returns are pretty much going to be the same, whereas with sweat gathering, they can slowly increase. Also, that's going to make you a more efficient hunter, and there's some advantages to it, right? So yeah, I probably should do a video on that. I've got some ideas for videos. It's just one of those things I need to find the time to do it. I've been really diving into Warzone. Completely suck at the game. Full disclosure. Like, every now and then people are like, oh, I really want to play with you in this game or that game. And it's like, well, all right. Like, we can play together, but you are not going to be, you're not going to be happy with me. You're going to be very disappointed. A lot of the time people play with me for one game and then they mysteriously have to disappear. And yeah. I never hear from them again. It's almost like I suck. They think I'm going to be some sort of ninja or something like that. And it's like, do you really think I'm making these basic how-to videos because I don't know? Like, I'm not hiding knowledge, right? I don't know how to become the best sniper in Warzone. Most likely, I don't know because I haven't put the time in. There's people putting 16-hour days into this game, and I'm playing it, for a couple hours on the weekend. Of course, I'm not going to be that good, but I know where I can, I usually get the full disclosure. Most of the time when I make these how-to videos, the reason that they actually, like, do decent is because I get stuck somewhere and then I decide, hey, I got stuck here. Someone else is probably going to get stuck here. Let's just make that video right off the bat. Whereas if you're a more experienced player, you're going to come back and like, it's the same with Entropia Universe. I'm not going to make the best beginner's guide because I'm not a beginner. There's going to be some things that I assume that you know that you probably don't know. And when you're doing these videos and you have no feedback, it's very hard to know where you got it wrong. So my videos, my beginner guides, do actually improve year over year, even if nothing changes, because I can look at the questions from last year and figure out what I missed. But yeah, if you're still a beginner in the game, it's very easy to make these like quick one-off videos because you got stuck in the same place. A lot of the time I spend like an hour to figure out where I am. So like first thing I do is I go to YouTube, and if I can find that video, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need to do this. But if I go to YouTube and it's just a bunch of like nonsense, then I have to go Google it around, figure it out on my own. And once I figure that out, I make the video because I figure there's going to be someone that's going to come and want to know how to do this. You know, some of those videos do really good, some of them do horrible. Some of those videos actually sit with like, I've had some that'll sit with no views for like years and years and years, and then, you know, one day all of a sudden this video just blows up and it's like, you know, 1,000 views that day, and I'm sitting there like, what happened? What changed? Why is this video interesting now? Usually it's because the game went on sale, but you never know. Sometimes I can never connect the two. Like with Entropia Universe, usually I can connect it to like someone mentioned it, usually like a big streamer mentions it or something like that. But yeah, sometimes I can never connect the two. It's just everybody like universally started the game at the same time, and they all start getting stuck on something at the same time. And maybe I'm like 30 hours in, so they don't get to it until like a week or two later, at which point the sale is over. So I have no clue. I'm just sitting there like, wow, this video really took off. It's really popular. Wish I could duplicate this, but I have no idea how to do it. So yeah, a lot of the time when you guys see me put those videos out and you're like, because some people comment that, they're like, why would you do this, Serial? Like, you can put out an Entropia Universe video that gets 600 views or 700 views or 1,000 views. But then you put out this Warframe video and it gets 10. And it's like, well, that video got 10 views from you guys, but, you know, come back in a year, that video might have 10,000 views and my Entropia Universe video still is 1,000. It's just different mindsets. Plus, my view of it, right, like, you guys like these videos, I want to keep putting them out, but the Warframe videos, people like that, it helps people, so I might as well put those out too. They're not really like competing with each other. Usually it's just whatever I'm interested in at the time. So when you say like just do Entropia, don't do anything else, what you're really saying is you just don't want me to put videos out in between my Entropia videos, which you know, for me that's just not what I want to do. And I don't know how, I just went way off topic there. A lot of the time I answer the comments in these videos because some of you guys leave comments and never come back to them, which I don't understand it. Like, why ask me a question if you're not gonna at least read the answer? But it's like, yeah, and I know some people don't come back to them because they'll ask the same question week after week, and it's like, I think for a few people I've had to be like, after like 10 times or something, I'm just like, all right, like, you've asked this question a few times now, and I've answered it a few times now. Like, is there something I'm not saying that you're looking for? What's going on? A lot of the time they'll just be like, oh, sorry, I didn't read it, which no big deal there. But it's like, well, you know, if I take the time to answer, you got to take the time to read it. Otherwise, why am I answering? All right, let's take on another Hogglo here. I was really hoping to get a global so I could just end it on that global or something like that, but I just haven't seen it yet. I can see other people globaling. I see other people getting hops, but not me. See, that's the problem. I need MindArc to give me a global button, right? I'll just talk to them and be like, look, I'm making Entropia Universe videos. If I can get globals, that's going to get me more views. That's good for you guys. What I need is an all-time high. I need an all-time high button that I can just smash and loot, you know, 100,000 PDs 2 times in a row. That video would get some views. And that would also get everybody in a lot of trouble because you shouldn't be rigging a game like that. Right? Like, it's all cool for some extent, but yeah, my loot should never be changed because of who I am or anything like that. Some people have said it is, but it honestly isn't. A lot of the time you guys just don't see the losses I take. Because a lot of the time, like, when I lose PEDs, it's because I decided to do something stupid. And despite what you guys see on YouTube, I don't record everything that I do that's stupid because I know, like, if I'm going to do a crafting run where I craft, like, a Jester or D1s or something like that, it's a horrible gun. You shouldn't be crafting it. I'm losing money. but maybe I decide to give it a go just to see what happens. I'm not going to record that because I know the comments are just going to be like, oh, this is horrible, like, why would you do this? And then there's going to be one guy that goes out and tries to duplicate it and loses the same amount, or some newbie who decides it's a good gun and buys it. And I don't want to do that because if you're a new player listening to this, it's a horrible gun. When you start off, you should always be using just TT weapons. They're just going to come from the trade terminal. They're the easiest way to go, and then you're not going to have to worry about getting ripped off by another player. You can do that for a couple levels. You just hang out, hunt like that, maybe watch a few of my beginner videos. I've actually got a gun guide that goes over like how to upgrade guns and stuff like that. You can just sort of grind out the daily tokens until you can get into this AR matrix group, and then you're good to go. Most of you guys watching aren't new, but I figure I just throw that in there because it takes 2 seconds. And I'm running out of content. I'm running out of things to say. You know, that's when I get to the complaining, right? When I start talking about comments and stuff like that, I'm answering them in the video. I'm explaining them a little bit more in depth. But the main reason I'm covering it is because I just need something to talk about. So don't take anything too personal. If you're like listening to this and you're like, oh, he didn't like what I said. Like, yeah, no, I don't really. If I really didn't like something that someone said, I wouldn't bring it up. That's how it works, right? Because generally what I'll try to do is if something really does annoy me, I won't bring it up. That's a secret to YouTube in general. If something annoys you, don't bring it up, because if you do bring it up, it's just going to keep happening. Like if I came on and I said like, oh, I hate it when people call me like Serial instead of Serial Overdrive. I don't, FYI, but if I say that, then there's going to be a good percentage of people who are going to make note to always call me Serial. That's just how YouTube and how the internet works. If you tell people something bugs you, they're probably going to bug you with it. At least a few people. Like some people are going to stop it, but the majority won't. And for the most part, people know. Like I'm not particularly thick-skinned or thin-skinned, but you know, there's not too much that'll bug me that much, I guess. Let's loot this thing. These loots are actually horrible. I haven't gotten like a good loot at all. Usually I log in and within this many kills I've already gotten like at least a 30 PD loot, and I think the highest we've gotten so far is maybe 10 or 15 PDs with Hogglos. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill one more and then I'm going to call it, just because what I don't want to do is just keep running this and keep grinding into this and trying to get loot that's not there. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people sort of fail at in Entropia, right? Or anything. It's, you know, gambling, stock market, anything like that. You take a loss and you keep doubling down thinking that you're going to come out with a win. That's not how this works. That's not how a lot of stuff works, right? Like, if you keep losing, it doesn't mean that you should just keep trying until you win, because sometimes it's just not possible to win. You know, if you're an 80-year-old man trying to race Usain Bolt, like, no matter how many times you do this race, you're not going to win. You know, I mean, you know, you could kick him in the balls and start running. Maybe you'd win that way, but, you know, there's no way you're going to win without cheating, I guess, is the way to say it. You could probably poison his food, and he'd still be able to be, just because he needs to get to the bathroom faster. All right, here we go. We got to mature right here. This is going to be a little bit harder here. This is level 35. These things have a bit of HP, so let's pull out all the stops. Let's kill a big one for the last kill, and let's call it there. See if I can do this. If this thing crit hits me, I'm going to die. I know that. My HP is actually pretty decently healed right now, so I'm not worried about that. It's more just if it crits me, I'm going to die. Also, we got this little 42% bonus laser weapon combat increase, or whatever it is called. Hopefully that'll help. Other thing, too, worth mentioning for these Mayhem, like the Mayhem armor, once it gets to level 1, like tier 1, I want to put on some, what are they called? Some efficiency enhancers, or some enhancers that are basically going to make the durability of these things last a little bit longer. Just because of the markup on this armor, I think it's actually going to be worth it to put those enhancers on. I think that I'm going to get way more than my money's worth with that one. So, you know, stuff like that's something that you should always keep an eye out for too, because if you can enhance the efficiency on high markup goods, it's going to make those goods last way longer, and you're going to get a much better experience out of it. Alright, let's loot this thing. Come on, something good, something good. 3 PDs. Alright, I know I said not to do this. I'm going to do one more. As I say, like, sunken cost fallacy and all that, but I saw a red dot way off here. I know it's like a super easy one to reach, so it's like I should just give it a shot, see what happens. Worst case scenario, I lose just a few more PDs. And I already found the Hogglos. That's like the hardest part. Again, I'm doing all the things you shouldn't do. Yeah, this is not a. I do tutorials, but I'm gonna tell you guys if I'm doing a tutorial. If it's just Entropia Universe hunting Hogglos, that's not a tutorial, folks. Oh man, and now we've got another red dot too. Mindark knows how to get me, and it's mature. All right, let's heal up real quick here. Use this SK20. That's gonna trigger some people. Oh, and we got a little too close. This thing's charging me. Not the greatest start. Let's be honest here, but we're gonna make a go of it anyways. Hopefully we'll come out winning this one. I'll stop walking backwards because you don't need to keep walking backwards once the mob attacks you. Also, it's a really bad sign that my A203 is almost out of oomph there. Because if I run out of that thing, it's going to take me way longer to kill this guy. And that is not going to be good. I don't know, we'll be fine. I forget that yeah. It was just an early warning right there. I'm going to heal up real quick here, just in case. Give myself a little bit of extra HP to work with. I want to make sure that 1 or 2 big hits in a row won't kill me. A crit hit will, but usually you got to accept that a crit hit can kill you from these bigger mobs, just because that is quite the hit. Alright. So there we go. Let's do this. Come on. Oh, not good loot. All right, we'll try one more. Again, it's right there, so it's hard not to. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not even gonna heal. Let's see what happens. I probably should have healed before that one, but I'm thinking I should have enough HP, especially because after this, I'm just gonna call it. We're not gonna total up the loot because this is some loot from like past runs. I've just been out here until my amp breaks, and I've just been sort of recycling the shrapnel and making it last, and then when I go back, if I have stuff like this, like the spleen oil, I'm probably gonna put it on the auction because it's over 50 PEDs. But yeah, I've just been running it like that, and it's been a pretty decent setup, I think. And yeah, I can just keep sort of a running total where I'm at. I don't know exactly how much I've made or lost, but I know that I'm coming out ahead just because my PED card's going up by a bit, and I'm not pulling any money out of my deeds. If I'm doing a run like this and I don't need to, I just won't pull PEDs out of my out of the deeds, and that way I can know if I'm actually doing good, making a profit or not. So let's go ahead and get this last loot here. All right, that's it. Like this, pretty bad loot overall. This wasn't the greatest run, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have questions, comments, anything like that, as always, feel free to leave them down below. But otherwise, until next time, peace.